the sharpest pencil in the box, putting Sal, Joe, and Murr on the loser board. Sal and Q couldn't keep their eyes on the prize, so they're each looking at a loss. And with that, Sal's our biggest loser. Q is the best thing since sliced bread, putting Murr on the loser board. Sal, Joe, and Murr have to settle for a group hug on the loser board. Joe got left at the altar, so he's tied with Murr as tonight's big loser, but only one's gonna get punished. Joe painted himself into a corner and ended up on the loser board. Joe and Sal couldn't score a win, but it's Sal who really missed the mark as tonight's big loser. Murr couldn't cross the finish line, so he finishes on the loser board. Q couldn't duck for a win, so he's kicking his feet up on the loser board. The only thing Q buried was himself, making him tonight's big loser. Sal's all wet, so now he's on the loser board. Murr and Sal played it too safe, earning them both spots on the loser board. Murr's got a double date with Destiny, making him tonight's big loser. It's no laughing matter for Sal and Q, who both land on the loser board. Looks like all that Murr earned was a loss. Murr, Joe, and Sal's plan backfired, so they're all tonight's big loser. Q and Sal are in a league of their own on the loser board. Q's big scoop is small potatoes, so he's eating up the loser. It's cloudy skies for Q. He's tonight's big loser. Joe couldn't step it up, so he's taking a ride on the loser board. Sal, Joe, and Murr can whisper sweet nothings to each other on the loser. Opposable thumbs down for Sal, so he's tied with Joe as tonight's big loser. Looks like Joe and Murr are taking a dip on the loser board. Sal and Q just served themselves a loss, so the guys are now tied on the loser board. The only thing Joe found was a loss, making him tonight's big loser. A totally deflating loss lands Murr, Sal, and Joe on the loser board. All the jokers hit the right note, so Murr, Sal, and Joe are tied on the loser board. Sal gets the boot, so he's tonight's big loser. So far, Q and Sal are treading water on the loser board. Looks like Q is the disgraciad on the loser board. Murr lost, but Q takes the seat as tonight's big loser. Q bought himself a loss, so he's first on the loser board. Looks like Joe and Q will be lunching on the loser board. Q had a good run, but he's still tonight's big loser.